Hello, everybody. Jen Barkan here with Do You Convert, coming to you live for online people talking, or opt-in, as we like to call it. I am so super excited about today's guest because she has been an industry friend of mine for, gosh, Martha, maybe 7 years. 7 years. Oh my gosh. And we first met in 2015 when we were both up for we had both won a silver award for online sales of the year. And we were competing for gold that year, which we didn't win, right, Martha? We didn't win. But yeah, I'm so excited to have Martha on today to talk to you. Martha comes with a wealth of knowledge. In fact, one thing I love about Martha is she is always first to help a new online salesperson who maybe has a question about something. She's a great promoter of our industry, of this position. In fact, I think you won the promoter award one year that we gave out.
I did. I got the Don King book.
Yeah, the Don King book, promoter. But you may have seen Martha chatting online on the Selling New Homes Online Facebook page. If you're a member of that, she's so great because any person asking a question on there, she jumps in and she is such a great resource. And she's going to be talking about something really great today, so make sure you stay with us. But let's get to know you, Martha, a little bit.
Sure.
For those of you who don't know you, tell us a little bit about, where you're located, how long you've been doing this role, what builder you work for, a little bit about you.
So I live and work in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I work for Tuskes Homes. We're a third-generation family-owned home builder. I've been with the company for almost 8 years now.
Okay.
And where we're located is about an hour from New York City. It's about an hour from Philadelphia. So
that's awesome. So small home builder, how many homes do you guys build or sell a year, would you say?
Most given years, anywhere from like 90 plus, somewhere 90 to 125. It just depends on what years we have certain communities coming up.
So not really small.
No,
I mean,
not too small.
Yeah, no, that's a good size. Okay, so how many leads do you manage typically? You're the only online salesperson, right?
Correct.
So
yeah.
Just you, 7 days a week, no team. We've been having a lot of teams on Online People Talking, so it's just Martha, solo show. So how many leads do you manage roughly each month?
Roughly about 125.
Okay.
So we're still in good shape at a quantity that's, I feel, still completely doable
Manageable.
for one person.
Yeah.
If it got, too much more than that, I would say there's opportunity,
Right.
with some other long-term nurturing leads and stuff like that, we could probably take care of. But we're good right now.
You feel good.
Yeah.
Now, you wear some other hats, though, in your organization, right?
Yes. So I pretty much, besides, my first priority is online sales. That's the number one priority. But I am our director of marketing. So myself.
Just the director of marketing also,
I have a partner, though, our marketing coordinator, who's great at doing like the day-to-day activities, website updates, social media. A lot of that stuff I used to do on my own, but now we have her helping out. So that's, huge for me to get back to a little more focused on the online sales part. So
that's awesome. Online sales is your first passion.
Yes.
And it shows. It definitely shows. Okay, so 125 leads a month roughly. And then how many appointments are you setting from those 125 leads?
Most months it's anywhere between 30 and 40 some appointments. This month I'm at 44 with about a week to go.
Mm-hmm. Have you felt a little bit of a slowdown in August? Are you feeling that? A lot of people. No? Okay.
No. I was surprised to see so many people commenting on that. It's been crazy here. And I even know that there's leads that not that I missed, but just we've had an increase in walk-in traffic, things like that. I mean, the one weekend I couldn't have done more than I could. So
Yeah.
like, it's just been crazy. So
Wow.
we're not feeling that here
You're
right
not
now.
feeling it at all. Yeah,
No.
a lot of people have been saying, and I'm like, it's okay. It's into summer, school's starting back. Like,
I
I
feel
get
like
it.
May and June were a little quieter for us here.
Okay.
July, August has been crazy, and this pretty much will carry on
Yeah.
to the fall. I know it for a fact. I mean, I'm sure this Labor
Yeah.
Day weekend coming up, it's going to be busy.
Yeah.
So
So, okay, 40 to 50 appointments a month. What about sales from the online sales program specifically?
well, year to date, we've sold 63 homes.
Okay.
So 50 of them are from my
Holy
appointments.
cow.
So yeah.
63 total and 50. So do the math for me because don't.
So that's like 79% of our total sales.
Holy cow. Now, has it always been that high, or have you seen because you started the online sales program for Tuskes Homes, right?
No, I mean, it's certainly in the beginning was not this high as we
Right.
like ramped up and started controlling our lead sources more and things like that. I mean, it started at a nice still 30 to 40%. Every year it's gone up. I've tried to just be realistic about it. Really, 79 is great, but it's not it's not sustainable forever. I'm okay if it was in the 60 range. But I'm not gonna like not keep it good if it's
Yeah. That's so funny to hear you say, because we have some people who are like struggling just to get it to, some people out there are like, I just want to get it to 20% or 30% of our overall sales. What do you attribute the success of that, of so many coming from?
I mean, I think every place is different depending on how it's set up. So that 20 to 30 may be awesome for that team or that company. For us, I am the primary, all the leads come to me. I think the only ones that don't are through our like local MLS. So I do have control over the phones, the calls, the leads. So that certainly helps, but if you don't do anything with them, you're not going to convert them. So, I mean, I'm probably a crazy exception, but I just, I really just, stay on top of our leads. And a lot of them are long-term leads. They're not just like, fresh leads. Yeah. So I think we just, as a team, even take a lot of pride in the long-term follow-up. And I also have our sales team pretty much emulate what I do on the front, on the back end of them huge. Coming out. I mean, because all of it's for like nothing if they have such a great experience and then, nobody following up with them after the fact.
Right.
So, part of it's me, but part of it's also our team and having total buy-in from our sales team. So.
Well.
They have to sell the home. So.
Yeah. I know that knowing you all of these years, we have commiserated with each other on certain things. In fact, Martha, do you remember we used to have a hashtag? What was it?
OSC
we used
Problems?
to, we would send each other, funny little pictures of different struggles throughout, the year. Hashtag OSC Problems. Because it's not always, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears you have put into the program to get it to where it needs to be today. So, I just want to encourage anybody who's listening that maybe is just getting started or your program is in its infancy, that what would you say, Mark? I mean, consistency, continuing to do what you know to be the best way to do things will eventually kind of catch on.
I mean, I always tell people, obviously we know a lot of great OSCs throughout the country.
Yeah.
Some of them are amazing at video and calls and this or that. And I will say I don't always get like the flashiest, prettiest things done, but I will always outwork anybody hands down. And that's you know, that's my thing, like just always showing up.
Yeah.
I'm not, I joke about it, but like I hate sending video emails. I hate being on video, but
But look
I'm
how
getting
awesome you are on this
a
call
little better
today.
at it, but
Yeah.
I will make 3 times the amount of phone calls and emails to make up for that. So, I mean, part of it, you just have to do it day in and day out. I
Yeah.
mean, there's no downtime.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't mean it that way, but there's no time to let up,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's as simple as that. So,
that's a great segue because the reason that I wanted to have you on Opt today was to shed some light on, how do you run your day? When I sit here and I think about somebody who is doing an amazing job as an online sales specialist, as a mom, a working mom, I think about you and I think about how disciplined you are and how structured and just what a go-getter you are. So let's shift gears a little bit. You mentioned earlier that you do wear multiple hats within
yeah.
your organization. How do you split up your day to accomplish both online sales and marketing? How do you divide and conquer?
Well, I mean, I always leads kind of will lead my day, to be honest. I mean, they just will. I have an awesome marketing coordinator that works with me, and a director of sales that I work hand in hand with. And, of course we have meetings and things that need to get done, but a lot of it's stuff I'm overseeing and then, making sure website updates get done, social media, ads being placed, all this sort of stuff. But I have like support of my marketing coordinator doing all the day in, day out stuff with that. So that frees me up to take calls.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do a lot of emails and follow up in the morning, and then marketing tasks will arise through the day, and then I try to make phone calls, like outbound ones, towards the end, later day. And sometimes I switch it up. It just depends. Sometimes who's the morning people to call and who's not, stuff like that. But of course, there's always days where the day planned for did not happen, and you get 10 calls and you miss 3 while you're on those calls. I mean,
right.
You just have to deal with it.
You have to go with it. But what I heard you say through all that is it's important to batch your time. Like, make sure you're prioritizing, like you just said, the lead kind of is first, like that, that runs your day. So prioritizing like new leads, of course, take precedence. You just said you're segmenting your day into like batching of time of I'm going to make calls here, I'm going to do this here. But then also you may have a plan laid out of exactly what's going to happen and it goes awry and it's 5:00 and you haven't done anything that you set out to do, right? And everybody has those days. You just don't want to make that the norm.
No, I mean, that's not every day. And the one thing that kind of keeps me sane sometimes or points me in the right direction is, Mike Lyon always said to me, always be doing your profit producing activities first. And it is stuck in my head all these years, besides that and not leaving any leads without activities. But like those are the 2 things that are stuck in my head all day long. And if I'm like stuck on something, I'm like, all right, these 5 phone calls will probably produce profits for us. Will worrying about this other office stuff going on? No, and that's kind of how I make my decisions for the day. So
that's great advice. It's the saying goes, is what I'm doing right now a lead generating or a lead converting activity?
Correct.
And it's like, if it's not, then stop, shift, focus on what is going to be the best results for you and your company for sure. So when you leave your full-time job, you go home to your full-time job of being a mom of 2 boys. So let's have real talk, right? As working parents, you struggle with this, right? You are working full-time in your day job, but being a parent is also another full-time job. So how do you manage it? I saw on Facebook today your boys went back to school.
Yep.
So give it, talk about it. Like, let's talk real talk with this position. It's tough. It can be tough, very tough.
So the funny part is, though, I've only ever had this position since the one was 10 months old. So they don't know anything different.
Else.
They are so respectful with cell phones. They never will touch my phone. In fact, they'll bring it to me if it's ringing. They could probably step in my shoes if I needed a vacation because they know all of our communities.
Yeah.
They know the pricing of our homes. They know how to answer a phone. Like, it's pretty hilarious. But they're very active, busy boys. They're 8 and 10. They do a lot of sports. I mean, the one great thing about this position is that you really have to work hard at it, but it also grants you a lot of like flexibility to, I mean, it's chaos, but I wouldn't have it any other way, to like this week, soccer will start up. Both of them have soccer practices at the same time in 2 different places. And so I will be in a lawn chair with my laptop now for the rest of the fall with bug spray and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's I always say it's like the blessing and the curse of this position, It's like the awesome thing about it is you can do it from anywhere, soccer field. The hard thing about it is you can do it from anywhere, the soccer field. So it's like, while it affords you some flexibility, it's like you can always be working. It's easy for you to be working from wherever you are.
Yeah. And that's the one thing I was going to mention is it's hard sometimes to figure out where your day starts and where it stops. And I have been trying to work on that the past year or two because I found I used to come home and before I would even think about anything family related, my computer was open again. And I thought like I had to be doing all this stuff. And to be honest, nothing's like my numbers, my goals, all the conversions. I mean, they've stayed the same. Like what I need to do at night, if I get a lead at 7 o'clock, great, I'll respond to it. But I don't need to be worried. If I'm planning my day ahead in batches like I should be and, getting stuff done during the day, I shouldn't have to do it at night.
Catching up at night, right.
No.
Right.
I mean, does it happen? Yes. But I have to say that's my own self. Right. Sometimes I'm trying to get ahead too, because I'm like, oh, I know this day is going to be crazy. Let me, But I mean, I'm the worst at it. I've been trying to improve upon it. It's something that I need to just, daily remind myself, like, your laptop doesn't even have to come out of, my bag tonight.
Well.
And I've been a little better about it.
Yeah, I know. I will say I can remember talking with you about this. It's like, it's hard to have those boundaries. Your work blends into your family time blends into your work time, and it's kind of this fluid state that you live in, right? And it's hard to have those boundaries. But I really appreciate you being candid with that. Do you have any like tips or tools or things that help you kind of stay organized or create those boundaries
with the kids or work?
either I mean
I was going to say to stay organized with work stuff, it's the simple lasso, just lasso,
your tools,
call tracking. It sounds silly, but the best thing ever was when I got call rail for call tracking, because I was like, great, I don't have to almost sideswipe a car finding a receipt in my bag to write somebody's info on. All I needed to do was just just have the call go, record, and then go listen to it later. Yeah. It used to be a huge struggle, like that part of it. But that keeps me organized, and, that's about all I can.
Yeah, so your tools. Yeah, your tools.
Yeah, the phone is so great with everything, different apps, whether it's just from, Amazon Prime, all the stuff that you need for your kids' school supplies, and order dinner from here and, just that type of stuff.
So
I'm probably not the best to ask about that stuff.
Well, have you used any sort of like Instacart for grocery shopping or like Shipt or anything like that?
Yeah, so I have in a pinch a few times, but I'm so bad at online shopping. I'm the type that fills a basket up, and by the time like it's full, I could have like actually gone to the store. And the few times that I did do Instacart, the person was like texting me every 2 minutes, like they're out of this.
Can we replace?
And I was just like, let me just get this done.
That's so funny because I just tried this the other day and I was experiencing the same thing where I was like, by the time I finished figuring out what I needed to put in my cart and then going back and adjusting it and getting the text messages, I could have just probably ran to the store. So, what about?
Yeah, I'm trying that. I'm not the best at Amazon, great. I'll order any supplies and stuff like that. But I hate returning stuff, even if it's returning it from my front doorstep. Mm-hmm. I'm just bad with online shopping.
Yeah. But what you said too was really important about, you trying to be able to turn off work, right? And have those boundaries and, in the fluid state that we are in this role, having that designated family time is important because like you said, it didn't affect your numbers either way. Like if you decided to come home and work until 10 p.m. versus shutting it down at 7 and having family time, that didn't make any difference to you.
No, and the funny part, it's all self-inflicted by myself. It's not somebody in the company like checking in on things because nobody's going to be more critical of my work than myself, to be honest. Yes. And that's just how I am. But, I realized, gosh, like I don't have to improve upon this online sales thing. I need to improve upon like my own like boundaries for my health, my family time, all that stuff.
Now, I do want to point out that you have already built up your street cred. Okay, you've been doing this a long time. So if you're listening to this and you're newer in this role and you're thinking, oh, I can just do this job from anywhere, I can work from home, I can work from the soccer field, I can do this, you have to, this is real talk, that's why we're doing this series. You have to take the time to build your street cred and prove yourself, especially if you're new to the company that you're working for, if you're new to this role. You've got to build street cred with your leadership. You got to build street cred with your salespeople, other teammates. And if this is a new position for your company, the position has to build street cred. So there's a lot of work that has to be done at the front loading this position at the beginning, and working remotely or working from the soccer field or wherever you are has to be earned. In Martha's case, she's been doing this a long time and has proven success and track record over the years. So that's why she's able to do that, right? Wouldn't you agree? There's a period of time,
plus also like the one part about the job, in most cases, depending on how you're set up or how I have even myself set up, my job is probably the most transparent, trackable job in the country. In a company.
In a company,
so.
Yeah.
After a while, if you're consistently doing what you're supposed to be doing, if you're making your calls, taking your calls, all that stuff, you have a little flexibility for breathing room.
Yeah, that's a great point because some people say, hey, can this position be remote? And it's like you just said, this is one of the most transparent, if not the most transparent position in an organization. And behaviors and performance can be measured and tracked. Mm-hmm. And it can all be seen. So, absolutely.
That sounds kind of scary in a way, but it's also like the best thing in the world because you feel so motivated to constantly do better and improve upon things.
Yeah.
I mean, in the case of my company, most people are either in online sales or in marketing, or they're not doing both. So the funny part is I'm kind of setting up the leads I'm taking, and then, that's a little different, but, I listen to all my calls. Like, I'm the one that's almost tracking myself.
Yeah. You really have taken ownership on every aspect of both online sales and marketing. So it's like you're the gatekeeper.
It's kind of nice though, because there's not many times where, if you start to notice a dip in a certain type of leads or this or that, maybe the online salesperson would tell somebody who might not do anything with that information. But me, I'm like, oh, well, okay, we'll just adjust this, or, I don't have to find 50 different people in a sales and marketing department to complain that, all of a sudden I'm not getting calls from this one, source or something.
Yeah.
I can usually find the problem and fix it. So it's good for that,
You truly are the gatekeeper, Martha Clifford. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. What is your favorite thing about being an online sales specialist now, 8 years later?
I mean, I still genuinely just love helping people. Yeah. It sounds kind of cheesy, but, there's something appreciative of, if you pick up a phone call late at night and somebody's surprised and says, oh, I thought I was going to get a voicemail. And it feels good to be able to respond to people and help them, even if the help is to not buy one of our houses. Maybe it's to, figure out that this isn't a fit for them. Mm-hmm. I genuinely enjoy that, and I really enjoy, just because I'm a competitive person, that it's fun to track down these leads. It's even more rewarding when they're super long term. And, we had, I think, a customer this past year who was originally one of my first leads that I got.
Oh my gosh.
Like a month into the job, not knowing a thing, like what I'm doing, whatever. And I've stayed in touch with them this whole time, and 3 of our communities weren't a fit for them the past, 5-6 years. And they finally bought a house with us this past year.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty awesome to be able to track.
That's amazing.
So that's fun. And honestly, it's never the same day each day.
Yeah. It's always something new. Yeah. So. Well, what would you say is your biggest challenge in this role?
Sometimes it's just getting out of my own way. I mean, and that's the stuff I'm working on now. It's not the follow-up. It's not, the discipline of it. It's figuring out when enough is enough. Like, a lot of the stuff I'm working on right now is like not time management as far as what I do with my day, but just
setting boundaries.
Well, yes, that's a better way of putting it. Mm-hmm. So, now that I've come this far and done, all these things in this job, boundaries is like a huge thing.
Would you consider yourself a control freak?
No, I mean, when it comes to my leads.
Yeah.
Yes, but not, it's pretty funny because I'm very, like a control freak with this job, but I am like super lax mom / like homemaker.
Okay.
/ like I'm not running our household like I run our database. Let's put it that way.
That's awesome.
So,
well, what do you do to stay passionate, to keep, that passion going after 8 years? Like how do you stay fresh and excited?
A lot of coffee. You know what? It's fun to see. Back when I started, this still was like a position where there was still a ton of opportunity across the country for all these people. It still is, to get an online salesperson. So it's been fun to watch this grow over time. But not only that, like some of the new, just all the giant community of people that you and I deal with and work with. Everybody has awesome stories. They're great people. You genuinely enjoy getting in front of them. But I really I love listening to podcasts, reading anything I can get my hands on, even like our online groups that we, exchange stuff on. It's interesting, to see what people's major questions are versus their concerns. And that keeps me going.
Yeah. I love
and it's always ever changing. So
I love seeing you hop in and help people. I do. It's awesome. I know Martha will chime in and give her feedback on that. That's so great.
Which I'm sure has nothing to do with why I'm like my job. So.
No. It is that. Listen, I think one of the greatest gifts in the world is being able to help somebody else. That does fills your cup up when you're able to, and you're passionate about this position. And like you said, it's been so exciting to see it kind of take off in our industry, and having all these
evolving.
People, it's
evolving all the time.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't say it's the same as it was even 7-8 years ago. I mean, now companies are having 1, 2, 3, like teams of these people, of online sales, and just the technology, and all of it's just. But the one part that isn't changing is that you still really have to get in there and do the work day to day.
Do the work.
There's not everything cannot just be one giant automation button.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But.
That's a great point. Okay, any funny stories that stand out to you, as a funny, something that happened with a prospect or salesperson, or anything that you could share?
I'd like to say funny stuff happens every day. So that's the one good part of this job. And you actually also need to have a sense of humor in order sometimes to get through your day. But there's always funny stuff. But the one that sticks out was pretty much being asked out on a date from our online chat, or the texting.
Okay.
So I thought they were saying going out, wanting to come out to the community. No, they meant out on a date. And I was like, all right. I was like, note to self, definitely don't send this video out.
Yes, they may watch it, over and over again. Okay, if you could go back in time to your, brand new online sales self, what advice would you give? Somebody starting out.
Send more video emails.
Send more video emails.
It's the one thing I've never listened well about.
Why do you hate video emails so much?
I don't know. This today even is a huge...
out of your comfort zone, right?
Yeah, and I'm always working on that, but that's the one thing that always sticks with me, that I'm why do I care so much? What does this matter? People do these all the time. They're so great at them. And maybe it's just how I am with everything else. I'll obsess over whether it needs to be perfect or not. Yeah. And that's a huge thing. I think I'm trying to, everything does not need to be perfect. You just need to keep doing it. That's a huge challenge for me. Yeah. And I've gotten better at it. So I would pretty much tell myself, send more video emails and just relax. Your family and you still need to take care of yourself. Yeah. Your leads may or may not be there in the morning, but at least you'll have your health. So, that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share your words of wisdom with us. Martha Clifford is the real deal, folks. Martha with Tuskes Homes. Look her up, reach out. Like I said, she loves to talk about online sales. She's very passionate about it. And she's a great friend and an amazing peer in the industry. Absolutely. So thank you so much for watching today. Remember,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Online People Talking is for you guys. We want to bring you people like Martha who are in this role, who are doing the same things you're doing, real challenges, real life and just kind of talk about it and give you some advice and solutions. So thanks so much. You can definitely check this out at doyouconvert.com, where we have lots of other blogs and information there for you as well. Thanks so much for watching, and thanks so much, Martha.
Thank you.